Vuka online news at this hour. The interim report of the Madlanga Commission of the inquiry, which is expected to be handed over to President Cyril Ramaphosa on Wednesday following a 3-month public hearing, will not be released publicly. However, the final report will be released to the public, with the Commission advising Ramaphosa on areas that are of national security sensitivity and how those areas will need to be managed. This was confirmed by Ramaphosa spokesperson Vincent Makwenya during a media briefing on Monday in Pretoria. Makwenya said the reasoning for not releasing the interim report to the public is because some of the witnesses that have already appeared before the Commission are going to be asked to return to give evidence. He said the interim report will help Ramaphosa to get up to speed with the Commission's work, as well as he has not had the luxury of time to follow the Commission's proceedings daily. And violence broke out in the KwaZulu-Natal legislature on Monday after a motion of no confidence by the Umkhonto weSizwe party to remove Premier Tamintuli failed following an open ballot. Chaos erupted after KZN Speaker Nontobeko Boyce announced that the motion had not passed and confirmed that Ntuli would remain in the office, and her announcement triggered protests by the MK party and Economic Freedom Fighters members who had demanded a secret ballot instead of the open ballot ruled on by the Speaker. The situation escalated as members clashed with police who were called in to restore order. Earlier, the legislature descended into disorder as MKA and EFF members sang on the floor of the House and erupted proceedings after Boyce rejected their request for a secret ballot. The MK party argued that some members had received threats and would not feel free to vote openly, insisting that a secret ballot was necessary to ensure safety and the fairness. Boyce dismissed the demand, prompting the MKP and EFF members to break into song. The motion required at least 41 votes to pass in the 80-member legislature. The MK party, which holds 37 seats, secured the backing of EFF with 2 seats and the National Freedom Party for 1 seat, giving it 40 votes, 1 short of the required majority. Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane says violence against teachers and school leaders demands the stability of schools and threatens children's future. He said in reaction to the death of the principal of Summit Christian Academy in Independence School in Kempton Park, Ekurhuleni, on Sunday. The principal was killed during a house robbery, the police confirmed in the early hours of Sunday at Maokeng Extension in Tembisa. The Gauteng Department of Education said this incident is another brutal and senseless act of violence that has robbed the Gauteng education sector. The department confirmed that the South African Police Services has arrested a suspect in connection with the crime. The GDE commended the subs for their swift response and called for a thorough investigation to ensure that all these responsible are brought to justice. Several positive developments lifted investor sentiment in South Africa, such as the country's exit from the grey list, an improved fiscal outlook presented in the 2025 medium-term budget policy statement, the announcement of a new 3% inflation target, and an upgrade of South Africa's foreign currency sovereign credit rating by Standard & Poor's Global Ratings, the first in 2 decades. Easing at global trade tensions and higher commodity prices, especially for gold and platinum group metals, PGM, supported the exchange value of the rand. The South African Reserve Bank shared these news in its latest quarterly bulletin, a key publication that provides detailed economic statistics and analysis of South African economy, financial market data, and articles on economic trends. Total household surveyed employment increased further by 248,000 from the second to the third quarter of 2025, with the job gains recorded across all 3 main sectors. Informal sector employment increased significantly, partly due to improved coverage after Statistics SA implemented methodological changes as to its quarterly labor force survey to align with international best practice. In your sports, Disappointed Cheetahs coach Franz Stein says Ghana side could provide head coach Vuka with the valuable answers ahead of their Africa Cup of Nations opener against Angola next Monday at the Stade de Marrakesh. And South Africa will face a Ghana side made up largely of locally based players at Dobsonville Stadium on Tuesday afternoon, with the match presenting Bruce with an opportunity to fine-tune his preparations and address a few remaining areas of concern. For this and other sports news, tune in to Vuka Sports Hour every weekday at 3 p.m. In your Pretoria will be partly cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 28 degrees. Johannesburg, partly cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 27 degrees. Cape Town, sunny and hot, temperature highs of 28 degrees. Durban, partly cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 30 degrees. And Bloemfontein, cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 19 degrees, or 29 degrees rather. And Polokwane, partly cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 26 degrees. Abington, cloudy and extremely hot, temperature highs of 36 degrees. And Port Elizabeth, windy and hot, temperature highs of 26 degrees. While East London will be partly cloudy and hot, temperature highs of 31 degrees. For Vuka Online News, I am Monges Makalima.